Good morning. Today I have a what sold video of what sold across three platforms, Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari for the second week of January 2025. So that's the 7th through the 8th through the 14th. All right. Well, again, just like last week, no sales on Mercari. So I'm going to hop on over to eBay. We sold this little two-pack of novelty earrings for $15. Over here, you'll see ad fee general, which is the promoted listing fee. So we have only had a few things sell through promoted listing in the 2 weeks that we've been doing promoted listings. We did two, I think like two, maybe the past couple weeks. It hasn't been much, maybe three. Uh, I guess I don't mind having it on there because the stuff is still selling, and who knows how long this could have taken to sell had it not been promoted listing. So, um I'm happy with the fact that it doesn't charge you unless the item sells. If I was just having to pay to have the item, like if it was like a recurring fee, I would definitely not be on board with it. But I like that you don't pay for the promoted fee unless the item sells. Plus, it was only 41 cents. So, I mean, I'm not upset about that. Next was this Orvis sweater. This is just proving the fact to me that this relisting that I've been doing is super helpful. So, what I did was on this, I went through using Flip, and I've just been making a list of all the items as I go through. That was my list. So, like, I go onto Flip here. I've been going sort by oldest created, and shows the oldest item that I had on Flip, which was something that I had put on here back in August of 2023. Um, of course, there was probably some stuff that was on here before that over the last couple years has just gotten deleted. But yeah, so this is the oldest item that I have listed across the platforms. And so what I was doing was I was going through and I was like, okay, is this something that I want to keep on here? For instance, these jeans were new, they were bigger size, and I was like, and they were more modern style. So I was like, okay, I'll keep those on there. And then I was going into the listing, updating anything that needed to be updated. Like if I had an old format for the description, I was updating that, adding that little special picture I put at the end of all my listings now. And then if it needed something, like if it needed to be weighed, like before I used to do, when I didn't do like the weights of items when I was putting them on, I would put that on my little list. If I needed to do new pictures, I was making that little note. And so I've just been going through those things. So I told my husband the other day, I don't think I've listed, like actually photographed and listed anything new in over a month. But technically, these sites think that I've been listing new things every week because I've been delisting and relisting and things like that. And now that that's a new feature on Flip that you can delist and relist super easily, I've been doing that a lot more and keeping things fresh. So anyway, now that I have been doing that, I have noticed that as soon as I will delist and relist it, whether I've updated that listing or not, the things have been selling. And this is one of those items. I pulled it because I didn't have the weight on it. And so I went and grabbed the weight. I think I might have taken the background out of the picture or something. And I weighed it and I relisted it to eBay, and it sold within a couple days. This sold for $25. Next was this J. Jill corduroy hoodie, sold for 25 as well. And this was another item that I had to go weigh and then relist. And I think I also took the background out of this, and this sold for 18. My total profit on eBay for the second week of January was $51.48. The first week of January wasn't very high. It was $64. So eBay's been kind of slow these past couple weeks, but luckily Poshmark picked up really, really well the second week of January. All right, so now moving over to Poshmark, we have these J. Jill Wherever pants. They were just a casual pant, and they were like a wide leg and plus size 1X, and they sold for $25. Next was these heart print J. Crew pants. Obviously, someone's wanting these for Valentine's Day. They're very cute. They sold for 16. A pair of Lucky Brand boot cut jeans. I think these were also something that I had delisted and relisted on Flip, and they sold for the full asking price of $25. Another pair of boot cut jeans. These were the Lucky Brand ginger boot and an 18 petite. It's funny because when I went back onto Flip, I looked to see how many of these I had sold, and we've sold Lucky Brand either the ginger or the Georgia boot cut, some version of their boot cut in a size 18, like 4 or 5 times within the past few months. They're very good sellers. So I would definitely pick these up if I see them again. And they sold for full asking price of $30. And that's how much I've gotten for all of them, pretty much is $30. I sold this vintage looking coffee sign. This was just something I had had in my kitchen, and then I took out when we repainted and redid everything. This sold for $10. A Vera Bradley Weekender bag sold for 65. I'm glad I stuck to the higher price on this because I think it was originally like 100 something. I had just gotten a lot of them over the years. My mom would gift them to me for like Christmases and stuff. And I still have a new without tags diaper bag listed and a few other larger totes, but these sell pretty well for me. Yeah, I don't want to. I got a lot of offers, and sometimes they would end up in my waterfall sales for like 50. I don't think wanted them to go for any less than 50, but I was really happy with the 65. The only thing that really stinks is how high the Poshmark fee is, because look, it took $13. Next was these Torrid skinny jeans. They were plus size 18 and they sold for 27. That did surprise me just since they were skinny jeans, and because they were just an 18. I did start listing Torrid jeans a little bit less. I used to be able to sell them pretty easily at 30, and then sometimes they would go on sale for 25, like on offers, and they would just sell really fast. Now I think I'm starting to list them at like 25, and then for smaller sizes or older styles like skinny jeans like at 20. So I was happy to get this 27. And again, this might have also been something that was relisted. No, I think that's a newer background. So that was a newer item. Then this had been sitting for quite a while. I can't remember how long. Let's see, I should be able to look it up here. Yeah, since July it had been on here. And this was a bed set. I had gotten two of these online, and that we ended up choosing to keep like the burnt orange one. And so I just I feel like I only paid like 20 something for like $25 maybe 30. And I just thought about it over the summer. I was like, I was kind of just listing everything, and so I was happy that this sold, and it sold for 40. Next was this was a delist and relist. This was one of the first items I feel like that I delisted and relisted at the beginning of this month, and I was just so surprised that within a few days, or I think it was like 2 days after I delisted and relisted it, I took off the background and I added that new picture and I updated the description, and it sold only for $13, but it's better than me pulling it for consignment. Another pair of skinny jeans. These were 16 and they sold for 20. This was really weird because these did not update tracking, and I had the customer reach out and she was like, "Do you know what's going on with these? I just want to check to make sure that these shipped," because I think it had been like 5 days and there was no update. And I was like, "Oh yeah, these got shipped out like Monday." And I was like, "I have no idea why the tracking's not uploading, but if it doesn't by tomorrow, I'll contact USPS and see what they can do." And funny enough, the next day the tracking updated and it updated as delivered. And so it made it all the way from my house to her house, and it never updated tracking. Gotta love the post office. And lastly, we have this pair of Columbia snow pants. So, excuse me. So let me see. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that yeah, so both of my snow pants have now sold. The extra small sold on the second, and then and then I picked this up on the same thrift trip, the small pair, and these sold on the 5th, so just 3 days later. And they sold for $36. Very good. How much did the black pair sell for? This doesn't, that's the only thing I don't like on Flip is it doesn't tell you the actual price it sold for. It tells you the price that you had it listed for, and then you have to go in and look. They sold for 35. Okay, on Poshmark. So basically about the same. So that's pretty good. So definitely keep an eye out because these were not new, but the black pair was new, but they were still smaller size and they sold for 36. So our total profit on Poshmark, keep in mind the first week was $77. This second week was $279.50. Isn't that awesome? I mean, obviously we were making a lot more than that in December, but for being the second week in January when everybody spent all their money and whatever, yeah, I'm excited for that. So our total profit for the second week of January between Poshmark and eBay was $330.98. Also, we have like finally $20 in consignment. I'll probably get that out pretty soon. So our consignment shop starts taking spring in February. So we have a whole bunch of warm weather clothes that we're saving for then because if I take any cold weather stuff now, then they're just going to have a sale in like a week or two and try to get rid of everything. And I don't want to take stuff and only let it sit there for a couple weeks and give it that short amount of time to sell. So we'll just keep that stocked until they start accepting cold weather items again. So we will start taking some warm stuff come February. But anyway, so now between the first 2 weeks of January, we've made a total profit of $472.90, which I'm pretty happy about. Since our goal now is to try to getting $1,000 a month, that would be about $500 or $250 every week, 500 every 2 weeks. So we got pretty close to that. I hope you guys had really good sales as well, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.